Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. You want to hear some nonsense? Cory Booker. He gave a I want to be president in 2020 speech. And he doesn't even understand how bad of a mistake that he made. So cue that clip for me. I want you to hear it. It's about 3 minutes long, but you got to hear the whole thing. And then I promise you, I'm going to crush this bug. This is a guy who is essentially saying to Black America, I don't care about you. I'll use you. I'll pretend to be outraged. And what's so sad about it is it's such a metrosexual pansy speech at the end of it. He's tough with this woman. I want you to imagine for a second as you're listening to this. This is a white woman. I believe she's over Homeland Security or something. I don't know. And Cory Booker essentially says, you just be quiet there, white woman. And nobody says a word. They don't talk about the war on women. They don't talk about him being a misogynist. They don't talk about him being a racist. He just is what he is. But I want you to listen to this drivel that this guy wants to sell you as, oh my gosh, I'm so outraged. I had so much anger inside of me. He was chewing on his anger. Let's play the clip.
By him because they're so hardworking.
I didn't.
Excuse me, let me finish.
Happy to.
Let me just draw a connection of why that matters. I'm sure you remember the 6 words from our president, the 6 words that he said after Charleston, Virginia last summer. People marching with tiki torches and hate, when he said there are very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both sides. When the commander-in-chief speaks or refuses to speak, those words just don't dissipate like mist in the air. They fester. They become poison. They give license to bigotry and hate in our country.
I stopped it there just to, originally I was going to play the whole thing. Let me stop it because I want to parse this. He wants you to believe that Donald Trump sided with white supremacists anymore, but he doesn't say, oh, well, he also sided with Black Lives Matter. He said there are good people on both sides of this, meaning on both sides of the issue. There are people that don't want Muslims, do want Muslims, or whatever. There are good people that he's saying that probably want to get to a compromise. And what these guys want to do, oh, no, he's talking about how great these white supremacists are. Well, then isn't he equally talking about the great people on the other side, the Black Lives Matter? Why doesn't Cory bring that up? Cory Booker's a fraud. I got to tell you, honest to goodness, I'm so sick of these people. I can't even see straight at times. They don't frustrate me in the sense that, we're losing against them. They frustrate me because it's like you can't train them. They're just idiots. And let me tell you, if you're listening to this program and you're one of them, you should really consider, you should consider leaving that side of the aisle. That's got, how do you rationalize a guy like him? And then, but let's go on. I want you to hear some more of this.
I know you're aware of a 2017 GAO report that found, and I quote, out of the 85 violent extremist incidences that resulted in death since September 12, 2001, far right-wing violent extremist groups were responsible for 73%. When I go through the Black Belt in the South, when I'm in Atlanta, black churches in Newark, they're concerned about jihadist Islamic terrorism. We watched the Twin Towers from Newark go down. But since 9/11, 85 violent incidents, 73% were with people that hold bigoted, hateful ideas about minorities. 1 American killed in Charleston, Virginia, and dozens injured. 9 Americans killed in a church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina by a white supremacist. An American killed and another wounded in Kansas after a white supremacist targeted them for their ethnicity, saying, "Get out of my country." Six Americans killed and 4 others wounded in Wisconsin, where white supremacists targeted individuals for their religion. The commander-in-chief, in an Oval Office meeting, referring to people from African countries and Haitians with the most vile and vulgar language.
I stopped it there for a reason. Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. It's Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. This man is unhinged. He's a lunatic. And if I were that woman, I would have interrupted him. I would have said, you know what? You want to talk about 73%? Let's talk about 73%. Let's talk about 73% of the black women raising their children by themselves in this country, and you don't seem to care. You, Cory Booker, seem to care about Africans. You seem to care about Haitians, but you don't seem to care about your own people in this country. Because if you did, you'd be solving that problem. I'll tell you something else that you didn't report about in your statistics, Cory Booker. You didn't report about the amount of crime that comes from people with your skin color on people of other color in this country. You don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about the amount of crime that people of your color commit on the very same people of your color in their own neighborhoods. You don't want to talk about that. You want to bring up statistics and you then say, oh, well, it was a right-wing hate group and give me some GAO report. Who are you to say what is a hate group or not? You don't even report the statistics of BLM when they go kill cops in Dallas. Was that not a hate crime? Was that listed in your group of different crimes? What about when the boys on Facebook, the gangbangers, decided they were going to rape a young black girl? Did you report that crime in your GAO statistics? What crimes are you missing, Cory Booker? You want to look at this country and talk about it in terms of color? You look at what your color is doing in America that you overlook, and you want everybody to be accepting, and you won't even address the issues in your own community. How many daddies are with their kids? How many daddies are in prison? How many of these kids are out doing things that they shouldn't be doing? How much racism are you fomenting when your people openly talk about crackers and all this other stuff? Openly racist. What are you doing? He's doing nothing. How pathetic. I don't care what anybody thinks, coming out of my voice. As a black man in America, I'm going to tell you, you can call me Step and Fetch It, Uncle Tom, whatever, coon, name it. That what he did is the biggest cooning and clowning I've ever seen in my life. Because let me tell you something. I truly want to solve problems in the black community. I don't want black kids being looked at as thugs. And the only way to change that is stop them from being thugs. And if you think that Cory Booker's concerns about what Donald Trump theoretically said about African countries, which, by the way, are exactly what he described, they're crap holes, Cory Booker knows it. And you know what? Donald Trump didn't have to go to Africa to find crap holes. All he had to do was follow around every member of the Congressional Black Caucus, and he will see crap holes like he's never seen before. Cory Booker doesn't want to mention that because it doesn't fit the narrative. Cory Booker wants black folks in America to believe Donald Trump is racist, and he's racist because he brought up crap holes in Africa that, by the way, not a black person in America gives a crap about. Oh, I said it. They don't care about Africa. They talk a big game. I'm African American, man. You don't care about Africa, period. White folks, when black people talk about Africa, usually just stop them and say, look, no offense, you don't give a crap about Africa. You been? You donated money? You taking care of Umbuku in some village? I bet you money you don't do anything. The only thing you do about Africa is you hold up the flag. You take those black, green, and red colors and act as if you've got some tie to the motherland. You haven't even done your ancestry DNA to know what part of Africa you're from. and they pretend. Cory Booker acts like he cares about that. Ask him, hey, Cory, what legislation have you proposed that's going to do something to help Africa? Just curious. Nothing? Any one of those legislators. Oh, they'll travel there from time to time so they can say, I was in Africa and I watched the people there and they hate Donald Trump. They want to see Donald Trump impeached. You don't care about these people. Just everybody is there to be used. And it makes for good theater because that's all Cory Booker did. He gave good theater because let me tell you, he's looking for an award because what he said had no meaning and no bearing on this country whatsoever.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.